Straight ahead on the 6 o'clock news, graduation is near, but have you thought about where your family will stay? We have information on an interesting option. Then a shade shelter comes to the Friends of the Coeur d'Alene Trailhead in Mullen. We talk more about the funding and what's all there. But first, two different drug busts in the same town where all of the dealers are tonight. I'm John Webb, and you're watching the 6 o'clock news on Channel 3.
You're watching the 6 o'clock news on Channel 3 with John Webb and Dorsey Pearson. Weather with McKenna Merrick and Jaden House with sports. This is Channel 3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm John Webb. Shoshone County deputies arrested a man over the weekend intending to make a cocaine delivery. On Saturday at around 7 p.m., deputies were conducting a routine patrol in Smelterville when they noticed a Chevrolet Blazer in a parking lot where recent thefts have been occurring. After making contact with the occupants, authorities deployed drug detection dog Lulu. Deputy Lulu conducted an air sniff around the vehicle and detected a controlled substance. After further investigation, the driver of the vehicle, 24-year-old Christopher Vergobi, was arrested for possession with intent to deliver cocaine, possession of marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Tonight, another man in the same town attempted to make another drug deal. This time, it was methamphetamine. Back in early April, deputies pulled over 26-year-old Andrea Romo for a traffic violation. During that interaction, a deputy deployed drug detection dog Lulu. She discovered drug paraphernalia and a backpack. Romo was cited and released, but in late April, the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant on the backpack and arrested the passenger, 53-year-old Michael Essman, on charges of possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine, possession of heroin, and drug paraphernalia. On Wednesday, a 27-year-old man was sentenced after pleading guilty to 3 counts of sexual exploitation of a child. Marshall Bod of Post Falls was arrested in Wallace after authorities executed a search warrant at his Post Falls home. He told deputies that he was staying at the Stardust Motel for business. Bod consented to a cell phone search, and investigators discovered numerous images identified as child pornography. In court, Shoshone County Prosecuting Attorney Keisha Oxendine recommended a 10-year sentence, and District Judge Scott Wayman agreed, sentencing Bode to 10 years of unified prison. Senior year is winding down for many, but what's the last week looking like for students at the Wallace High School? Our Hannah Garatone brings us more.
Thanks, John. It's an exciting time here at Wallace High School for this year's seniors as they get ready for graduation. I spoke with the senior class president, Maggie Howard, about the upcoming event.
So the scholarship ceremony is where all the seniors have been applying for scholarships over the course of their senior year. And the ceremony basically gives them a day to be introduced in front of the whole school and see how much money they were given to go to college. On Tuesday, the 21st, May 21st.
Along with the scholarship ceremony, they are preparing their traditional senior barbecue, as well as the baccalaureate and the moment we have all been waiting for, graduation. Maggie has more information on these events as well.
The senior barbecue is a celebration that the seniors put on to celebrate their year and give out food for the underclassmen, and it is Wednesday the 22nd. So baccalaureate is a blessing that the church in Wallace gives the senior class at Wallace High School to take on with their journey after graduation. Graduation is May 24th at 7 o'clock here at Wallace High School.
On behalf of the class of 2019, we would just like to thank our community and our school for giving us so many opportunities and memories. Make sure you come out and support. Reporting in the Channel 3 studio, I'm Hannah Garatone.
Thank you, Hannah. The weather has held out for a project that's just about finished in Mullen. You may have noticed it on your way home from work tonight. A new shade shelter was finalized on Wednesday at the trailhead of the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes in Mullen. It'll offer cyclists a place to get out of the sun and possibly repair a tire.
John Ruggles started this project in 2016 when he first applied for the grant through the Idaho Parks and Recreation.
Young later took over the job after Ruggles left the area and finalized the grant, which was received by the Friends of the Coeur d'Alene Trail. The $18,000 grant helped pay for a concrete pad, a bike repair station, and the shelter itself.
We have a picnic table, an ADA picnic table that will be here soon. We have the new bench, bike repair station with tools included, and a bicycle pump, a tree where you can set your bike up on it. And then over here we have the bike rack also. So it's going to be a great site here.
Young tells us that they've had all kinds of help from locals. She says she's been wanting to do something like this for a while now.
I've wanted to do something up here. I love Mullen anyway, great little town, wonderful people here. And I've wanted to do something with the trailhead here for a number of years. And And finally, with since John Ruggles started it, we can go ahead and finish it now.
On May 28th, they'll have a dedication at 11 o'clock, and everyone's welcome to attend. Ryan Rodriguez is looking into scholarships at the Wallace High. With more, we toss it to Ryan.
Thank you, John. Wallace High School seniors will be graduating May 24th. If you're interested in joining the scholarship award ceremony on May 21st, please come to the Wallace Gymnasium before 1:15 to see the seniors receiving local, community, and national scholarships that they have been awarded. Last year, seniors received around $170,000 in scholarships. This year, Wallace seniors are hoping to match or break that number. Again, the award ceremony is May 21st at 1:15 in the Wallace Gymnasium. Reporting from Channel 3 Studio, I'm Ryan Rodriguez.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, we have several different types of modern lodging in our area, half of them being in Wallace. But the Ryan Hotel, located in downtown Wallace, is your only choice for a historic type of stay. We took a tour this week to see what the 116-year-old building is like.
The old style cold and hot have gone by the wayside.
As did many things, but that doesn't change the historic feel of the Ryan Hotel. Owner Donna Westmoreland says they're making needed adjustments, but they're not taking away from the family feel.
Yes, we like to say, come and recharge your batteries, figuratively.
The 14-room hotel offers Wi-Fi, a starter breakfast, and several suites. It's a simple room with the basics.
So this is another nice room with 2 queen-size beds. Nice family room, so it accommodates our guests, and then it has a large shower, toilet in here.
It's never lonely at the Ryan Hotel either. According to Westmoreland, there are some spirits inside as well.
We've had a medium from Coeur d'Alene, Jennifer Von Barron. She's been out several times, and she interacts with the entities. She indicates that they're all happy to be here.
Miss Montgomery was a third-grade teacher at the Wallace School District and lived in the hotel most of her life. In fact, she stayed in this room for 43 years.
She just loved the Ryan Hotel, and her spirit is still here.
The hotel also survived 2 fires. It first stood steady during the 1910 fire, then barely made it through another fire in the 30s.
Tabor's had a big problem, big fire, and this building lost its 3rd story. So we have a skylight above us that is kind of a reminder of that.
For more information and bookings, search hotelryan.com. The beautiful weather is providing ideal prescribed burning opportunities across much of the Panhandle, and the U.S. Forest Service is planning burns for this week. Crews will begin burning the Beaver Creek drainage 6 miles north of Osborne, including sub-drainages Scott Gulch, White, Alder, Deer, Dudley, and Ferguson Creeks. Prescribed burning is part of each ranger district's annual natural resource management to reduce hazardous fuels, prepare areas for tree planting, and improve wildlife forage. Oh, what a beautiful week. But is there more to come? Here's Weather Commander McKenna Merrick.
Thanks, John. Today we decided to do our weathercast outside of the Wallace High School. Looking at the Doppler radar, we're seeing no chances of showers over the region, and temperatures up to the high 65s and low 70s. Looking at the 7-day forecast, Friday we're reaching a high of 73, and on Sunday we'll reach as high as 79 with a low of 54. And for the rest of the week, we're seeing lots of sunny skies. And for the last time, back to you, John.
McKenna, thank you. Here's Jaden House with sports.
Thanks, John. This past week, the Kellogg golf team had quite an eventful match at districts, which took place at the Ranch Club in Priest River on Tuesday, May 7th. The Rawhorse siblings specifically did extremely well at districts. Both Kat and Archie Rawhorse took home first-place medals. Kat, a senior, has taken home 4 first-place medals from districts from the years 2016, 2017, 2018, and now 2019. Kat says that it is one of her biggest accomplishments, but she is way more excited that Archie won. She also states that her brother winning made the experience way more cool for her because he won first place at districts as a freshman, just like herself. That's all for sports this week. Reporting in the Channel 3 Sports Studio, I'm Jaden House.
Thanks for that, Jaden. Idaho State Police say a passenger in a car died after a wasp flew into the vehicle and overturned into a creek. Police say a juvenile was driving west on Roby Creek Road in Boise County Saturday evening when a wasp flew into the car. Police say the car veered off the road and ended up partially submerged into Roby Creek. The juvenile passenger died at the scene. Both the driver and the passenger were wearing seatbelts. In news that's not quite newsworthy tonight, a Florida man is facing charges of driving under the influence after he crashed his riding lawnmower into a police car. The Haines City Police Department said 68-year-old Gary Anderson crashed into the vehicle while an officer was away from the car. The officer walked back to the car after hearing the crash and saw a man on a lawnmower with a trailer. Anderson then told the officer that he was drunk. Officer said Anderson was unable to complete a field sobriety tests and said his demeanor ranged from laughing to aggressive. After Anderson was taken into custody, he reportedly accused the police of poisoning him. Police said that Anderson's blood alcohol content registered .241, which is more than 3 times the legal limit, and that he also had cocaine in his system. Anderson remains in the Polk County Jail with a $3,000 bail. And we'll be right back after this.
Best for less is what you get when you shop at the home of Western Family, Harvest Foods, in Wallace. It's Mother's Day weekend. In the meat department, get value-packed boneless, skinless chicken breasts or thighs, $1.88 a pound. Or get bone and rib steak, just $6.98 a pound. In the produce section, get fine tomatoes, 99 cents a pound. Or tender asparagus, just $1.99 a pound. It's going on now through Tuesday at the home of Western Family, Harvest Foods, in Wallace.
Historic Albee's Gem Bar and Restaurant is open for business, serving dinner until 10 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. We're not just a steakhouse, we've got something for everybody. Start with our jumbo shrimp cocktail while Scotty prepares your award-winning meal. Don't forget about our wide selection of red and white wine, but it doesn't stop there. Finish the night off with our special Albee's Huckleberry Gem. Good wine, great hospitality, and even better food. It's all at Historical Albee's Gem Bar and Restaurant in beautiful downtown Wallace.
This edition of the news is brought to you by Harvest Foods in Wallace.
Welcome back. And tonight the time has come. This will be news anchor and managing editor John Webb's last broadcast on Channel 3. Here's some photos and video of John over the years.
Straight ahead on Channel 3 News at 6, an avalanche left one snowmobiler in the hospital. Plus a car donated to Wallace Junior Senior High School, we'll tell you who, and a sweet surprise that left many girls touched this past Valentine's Day. Channel 3 News starts now.
Broadcasting in the Channel 3 newsroom in downtown Wallace, this is Channel 3 News at 6, where local news comes first.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Webb.
Reporting you can trust with John Webb, Megan Dorton, Morgan Powers, and weather with Destiny Angle. This is the 6 o'clock news on Channel 3 TV.
Good evening and thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm John Webb. It's great to be back.
You're watching Channel 3 News at 6 with news anchor John Webb, Chief Meteorologist Destiny Angle with her exclusive weather update, plus reporters Megan Dorton, Amberly Phillips, and Kinley Fry. This is Channel 3 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Webb.
Broadcasting from the Channel 3 studio in downtown Wallace, this is Channel 3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm John Webb. Tonight, are you wanting to take the kids out to a good Christmas display in the Silver Valley? Well, you just might be in luck. Boy, this is it. The past couple of years have been a bit of a whirlwind. I'm so grateful to have had this opportunity. I want to take this moment to thank all of our supporters, in particular, my mom and dad. Their encouragement and guidance is the reason I'm sitting here today. The countless nights filled with hours of writing and editing, scratchy sounds transmitted from the scanner, and the same phrase, "Good evening, I'm John Webb," repeated over and over again. I thank and love you guys. I'd also like to thank the Wallace High School for offering this program and all of the continuous support from Mr. Lund, our principal, who has gotten us out of many sticky situations and pushed us to do the unimaginable. Mr. Young, the Channel 3 advisor, the guy who has put up with us for the past 2 years, and the reason Channel 3 is such a success. And Mrs. Brackenbush, my life advisor, who has went out of her way innumerable times. But the person I want to thank the most is you, the viewer. Your support and feedback has fine-tuned us from a jumble of scraps to a well-oiled machine, and I thank you. Even though Channel 3 is a student-produced newscast, I ask that you continue to hold us to a high standard so we continue to grow and provide the best news coverage possible. It's the end of an era, but the beginning of a new. Dorsey Pearson will be with you next week, and more to come. And I'll see you down the road. So, for a final time here on Channel 3, until we speak again, I'm John Webb. Have a great evening.